Everyone. My name is Mike Rennick. I'm a local broker associate with Keller Williams on the Water. As I shared, our goal is to bring you as much pertinent information in the buying and selling process to make your job easier. It is Friday, August 17th, and it's hard to believe school will be starting shortly. We had some technical glitches that happened, so we're coming in through a backdoor kind of an approach. But I have Michael Maillard here with me. He is the owner agent of MIC Insurance. In addition to being a really good guy, he's the most knowledgeable insurance agent I've ever come across. He's been very helpful. But what he's agreed to do is discuss the topic today is whether or not wind-driven rain or water damage is covered by your homeowner's policy. First of all, Michael, welcome.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. In every word that I said about you, I meant. You've been a tremendous help with all of our clients.
I appreciate that.
So we've got a great topic today. So what do we do? How do we find this out?
Well, in the past, prior to January 1 of 17, this question of wind-driven rain was really not an issue. It came about driven initially by a Citizens endorsement. Citizens was, in theory, our carrier of last resort here in the state of Florida. They were started by the state of government, but are not backed or funded by the state of Florida. Indeed, that particular endorsement began to exclude wind-driven rain January 1, 17. Well, the hook of the issue is that many of the Florida admitted homeowners carriers followed suit, adopting the same endorsement, which essentially boils down to this. Wind insurance covers when your structure is penetrated. It is opened by the peril of wind. So I've got a window open, blown open, I have a roof torn off. That is what wind insurance covers.
Okay.
Wind-driven rain is when wind and water hit my windows. The windows do not break, but water penetrates and damages the interior of my structure. My flooring, my cabinets, etc.
So there are two different causes that you're talking about.
Two different causes of loss. Okay. So this change did not impact per se wind coverage, but it dramatically excluded the wind-driven rain portion of coverage that we had really always relied on carriers providing prior to 1/1 of 17. Well, we know now in hindsight that Irma came after that change. So clients whose renewal dates were prior to Irma's arrival date in September found out afterwards, if they had a wind-driven rain loss, that they did not have coverage for that peril.
So at that point, there's no recovery for them.
There's no recovery. That was over. Now, I will say that a particular company, Tower Hill, who had withdrawn that coverage, has added it back, effective roughly 5 weeks ago, and that would apply then to all policies on their books. So we at least have one carrier who did react to the agent push back about the removal correctly, and did reinstitute that coverage as it applies to hurricanes.
So if someone is insured with a company that doesn't have that, do you buy a rider now?
No, that is really not available through 90+% of carriers in Florida. And it's incumbent upon your agent to choose a carrier that does still include wind-driven rain. They would be down in a very minute percentage of overall companies, but there is access to that coverage still in the market if an agent shops for it.
So after an event,
yes,
and there's damage to a home, how does the adjuster ascertain whether it was wind-driven rain or wind?
It's pretty simple. Are your windows blown open? Do you have damage to the structure? Do you have an opening in the structure that allowed the wind and water to penetrate?
So that's
simple.
So that's the wind, though, right?
No. So what I'm saying is, unless the window is broken, unless the roof is opened up by the wind, then it is wind-driven rain. And inherently, 90+% of companies would be excluding that coverage today.
So would there be many, and you're doing a great job of explaining, I'm just a little slow
during
on
Irma,
Friday morning.
in Irma, I had hundreds of wind-driven rain claims, primarily in Irma's case, on the islands facing the northeast. So the bay took it from the backside. Okay, the wind came from inland. When that inland wind came and hit open patches of water, as an example, or open areas inland, because this same wind-driven rain issue applied in Orlando
Okay.
in Irma.
Mhm.
Well, that wind and water pounded the sliders and the windows of those particularly situated structures. The windows did not break, but nonetheless, water penetrated.
So
and
that's the
damaged.
difference.
That is
I
the
get it.
difference.
Oh, I get it now. Thank you. That
So we really want wind-driven rain. Now, conversely, if I lived in a small house surrounded by big houses and lots of trees, then wind-driven rain I would not perceive as to be as great of a risk. Okay.
So let me give the Cliff Notes version of this. This is a complex subject. Insurance is a complex subject. So to make sure that we serve our clients at Team Running the best possible way is we have a partnership with people on different fields like mortgages and insurance, but it's always Michael here in terms of insurance. I'm not going to pretend that I understand all the intricacies of an insurance policy,
Not your job.
the different types, auto, my umbrella, my corporate business, my home. It's just complex.
Indeed. And the carriers in Florida have made it harder because of these changes in contracts that make the policies here significantly different than any policy you might buy in any other state.
So you might not want someone licensed in Florida who works in another state. You need someone that knows the intricacies of this market because it's changing.
Yeah, Northern agents would not have an idea of the individual differences between carrier coverages. It's just not possible. Not possible.
So this is why your company thrives as your agents and you stay on top of all the issues, the changes. Let me tell a story out of school about Michael here and Mike. I don't even pay attention to my insurance. Him and his agents bring in what I need to. I sign what I need to. They take my credit card and all the above. They take really good care of their clients so that I don't have to be focused on those things. Him and his team, Michael and his team, are focused on getting the right kind of protection so that when an event happens, we don't have the discussion of you didn't have coverage for that. Does that make sense? That's my
Yes.
approach.
Yes.
Michael, again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I'd like to invite you back maybe next Friday if that fits.
Very good.
We'll pick topics that are important to you. It's as we move forward here at Team Running, we want to provide information again that makes the buying and selling process easier for you. Let me, I don't have the contact information. Our software failed, so we're in through a different way. I'll put it up when I send this post back through Facebook so that you can reach directly with Michael. We'll share your phone number.
941-554-8909.
And I'll put that into text as we go forward here. But if you have any questions, reach out to Michael in terms of insurance. If you need help from a real estate perspective, even if you're not a current buyer or seller, just someone with questions, we'll get the answers for you. If we know them, we'll provide them. If not, we'll get the right experts involved. I want to thank everyone who's watching this, anyone that may see the recording. Again, this whole effort is an attempt to make the buying and selling process easier for you. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend.